I need the other augment. Let's see if I can get it right quick. Ember.
We offer these to aid you, Tenno.
Ember. Not there.
With these, you may punish our enemies. Our enemies will fear you with that.
This is what we offer.
Wait, does he have the Sakura? Sakura? Oh, Sakura. Oh, I need some weapon slots. Who shall you be getting rid of? Gotta go. Gotta go. Can't get rid of Atarax because it's the Atarax because laws.
These are a bargain. Just for you. You scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours.
Oop, gotta take cat off because she'll be dead soon. how this goes.
For this arbitration, I bestow upon you the gift of immortality.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
Ancients are the most powerful. Agent feeding has made them strong.
Move and strike. We have to win this.
Seriously, game?
Fight on. This test has only just begun.
Hi.
Welcome to the stream. Let me see who you are. You are All My Gut. Okay, that's an interesting name. Welcome to the stream anyway. I appreciate you for stopping by. Just doing arbitration. Yeah, I have an Ember buff, so that's why I'm using Ember.
Hey. What are you doing?
Okay, let me see here. I'm doing the arbitration mission because I have a buff for Ember that makes her stronger. It's basically an in-game quote-unquote mission once you clear the star chart. So this particular one is a defense mission where I'm defending the guy standing next to me instead of the pod, actually. So you see to my right here, I'm defending this guy instead of using the pod that's in the middle of the map. Yeah, he doesn't have that much health, so like you should run around with him. I see people doing it, but like yeah, he can die really quickly. So. Hey, 4 galleon. That's not bad. I can always use it, so. That's it. Okay. He just phased over to me. Behind me?
Potential blossoms. Continue the arbitration.
So yeah, with buffs, Ember could be good, but she's kind of in a bad spot now, so this is kind of the only time you can play her in a situation like this where you get a crazy amount of damage buffs. And you cheese the mechanic of her abilities. So if you haven't used Ember a while, I'll go to the menu so you can see it. So it says with Ember, regenerate 10 plus 10 or 10 energy per second, and increase ability strength by 35% while on fire. So that's her passive. So if you are on fire, you get your energy back, which you can cheese that, but most people, it's like, why would you want to be on fire? So it's a terrible passive. But the thing that you can cheese is her accelerant, which is increase all fire damage dealt. And since I have the bonus from the challenge, it's 9.25 times damage multiplier. And that's all fire dealt. So that means your fireball, your fire blast, and your world on fire. So you can see how if she was buffed normally like this, she could do a lot of damage, but she's not, so that's a lot of damage that you can have. Plus I have fire as with the Ignis. So that's why you can do a lot of damage. And you see they got melted pretty quickly. Thought the round was over, game. Yeah, so you probably hear people talk about like Ember needs a buff. Like she really needs a whole total rework, because she's not in a good spot and she doesn't do what she's intended to be done. Meaning setting the world on fire, which she doesn't do. She's just like Miley catches a house on fire type of thing. And she's not good right now. I really enjoy Ember, and there's builds on YouTube where you can make her viable, but if you have to make something viable, that means she's normally not viable, because if you have to do that, you would say she's viable now. It's just that kind of process. Like you could do anything with pretty much a lot of Warframes is just the ease of which you can do it. And you need to do a lot of stuff to make Ember viable. Like you have to go all in on the fire damage. Excuse me. Excuse me. Still allergies, I apologize.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I don't mean to sneeze at people, but you know, allergies and such. Not on purpose. One above me. Okay. Yeah, so you probably can tell just by watching this that she does a lot of damage. So it's not far off for her to be good. It's just, will DE, Digital Extremes, make her good again? Because at one time she used to be overpowered. Like, back in the day, overpowered. Like, if you played with Mesa now currently, from what the old people say, or the old timers, if you want to call them that, they say that Ember used to be how Mesa is now. If you can believe that, so. Ooh, no empty. Thank you, Baruch. Mr. Baruch. Up top. Put this out. Anybody survive? No. Set this right here. Yeah, I always felt like Ember should. If you ever watch a YouTube video, like a YouTube video on like houses being caught on fire, and all the destruction that fire does to houses and trees and all this other stuff, that's how I felt Ember should have been. Like it should be damaged over time. Like it's not like getting hit by a fireball. Like they shouldn't be able to shoot you with their guns because they're like being affected by actual fire on their skin. They should panic and try to put the fire out, but the game doesn't do that. Because it's kind of, I kind of feel like it's a balancing thing because they don't want to make Emperor too strong again. Same way with Frost and Volt. At a certain level, they can become too powerful. Because I imagine if you're caught on fire, you're not going to be shooting your gun at people. It's just logic to me.
one's still holding.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wish she felt like this in everyday missions. Not in just a mission that has a modifier to make her stronger. Oh, I fell off. Yep. And she's naturally strong against the infested. So like, yeah, you probably watching this like, man, you're chewing through them, but like it's an infested, so they don't have any armor. So her biggest weakness is like if you have armor or shields or guns, she falls off a lot, as you can probably imagine, with enemies that can actually shoot back at her. So that's why I say like she needs a buff. You can't really judge against the infested since they're basically melee enemies. What? Yeah, she's strong in this setting, this specific setting, but anywhere else she's like out of luck. Yeah, that's why she needs a rework, because, yeah, I can cheese a mechanic here because I set up my build in such a way to cheese the mechanic, but for people that don't have all the pieces, or the ribbons, or the Zenistar, or the setup that I'm running, Emperor isn't accessible as it is for me, so. And that's what I think the DE, Digital Extremes, needs to look at. Not for the people at the high end of content who've been playing for 500 years or 500 days, more like it. But people that are generally just new players, can they do work with the Warframe? And if the general person can't have an understanding like how to play the Warframe, there's something wrong with that Warframe. Like, it's not called hug frame or pacifist frame or be kind to your enemies frame. It's called Warframe. So a Warframe should go to war in this context, and this Warframe doesn't really do that. So intentionally, Warframe should be strong. Let's see. Do I want to stay? Because all I'm getting is Endo. The answer is no. So if you join in, this will be up on YouTube as video on demand, whatever you want to call it, and you can see how Ember plays in this particular setting. But normally, you don't want to ever use Ember. Because she gets destroyed because people shoot back. So what is the story today? Corpus. Alright. Corpus. Let's see. Can you load game? There you go. Thank you. This is another quote-unquote in-game activity, so you'll get to see my Moa get stuck, because that's what she does.
No detection from enemy sensors.
Yeah, this game needs some quality of life changes. Oh, I forgot to forgot to put silencer back on. Whatever. What else? I'll just stealth my way through. Is she still here? Come on, Mo. We'll see how long it takes her to actually... Yeah, she's actually doing it today. Well, you know, she did the first door.
The enemy will start destroying data.
So, question, do you think Mo will actually do the rest of the hack for me? Leave a comment, see if you think she'll actually do it. I could give you a spoiler, but I want to see what y'all think. Do you think she'll actually do anything?
Yes.
Okay. We have one person who thinks Mo will do something. Let's see what Mo does. Come on, Mo. And Mo got glitched. Alright, she made it past the first hurdle. Barely, I should say. Will she make it past the second door? Mind you, like, I could be hacking while she's like deciding. So I'm guessing I'm guessing you're figuring out what the problem with the MOAs are, or you're starting to see what the problem with the MOAs and the Kubros and the Kavats are. They're dumb. They're really, really dumb. Alright. Guess she's taking a coffee break. Yep. She's on a coffee break.
Data extracted. They won't even know it's gone.
Forgot about that one. Will she hack that?
No.
Yeah, you're getting an idea, yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing I mean by quality of life. They need to fix a lot of stuff that they put in this game. Once they put it in the game, it's just like leaving it to die or just leaving it be there to rust out. Like she's stuck. Oh, at least she teleported this time. That's another thing. Their pathing is kind of suspect. They'll get stuck on terrain and just be like, I don't know where to go. I'm like, all right then.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
Yeah, so if you were thinking about getting a mole pet, I would highly suggest against it.
Excellent. A clean extraction with no alarms.
Because sometimes they work and sometimes they just like, I'm taking a coffee break And I'm like, you're on the ship all day. Like, I need you to do one thing. She's like, nah, bruh. I'm on a coffee break. I'm like, alright though. Yeah, it's not like I'm asking her for a rant or nothing. I'm just like, do one
I
spot.
think that's random.
Yeah, random that they work or random that they break. Because either way, that they're kind of random, as you say. Like, I don't know what she's doing. Like,
Work.
yeah. Like, I think she's glitched now. Yep.
You're moving the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
Did she trigger him? I can't tell. So I cut the lasers off. Yeah, they need to make the MOA smarter because there's all this space over here and she doesn't know like where to go.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. We have everything we came for.
Yeah, you just don't know if she's gonna work or not, so it's like sometimes she does things, sometimes she doesn't. It's like, okay. You know, if you're playing platinum or real world money, you need things to be reliable.
How old are you?
I'm 40, by the way. How old are you? Yeah, I don't think it's an age thing. I just think it's like. Alright. Yeah, I don't think it's an age thing. I just think at a certain point, you should just expect things to work. If you spend money on something, you should just want it to work. Not be like, well, it might work. It could work today. It might work tomorrow. And she's dead again. Can you cloak Avara? Thank you, ma'am. I guess I gotta go to log round. Because she's probably gonna get killed again. Come on, Mo, just walk past them. Or you could do that too. That works. You can auto teleport. They must have recently added a teleport because they get so buggy. Yeah, they just need to decide to do that faster. Like, hey, she gets glitched. The game needs to say, like, hey, she doesn't know where to go. Just teleport to the player. Like, immediately, not just like 2 minutes later. She's like, oh, she's glitched. Like, no, like, as soon as you see like 30 seconds or 5 seconds where you're like on the other side of the map, the game should be like, hey, the player is way on the other side of the map and she's stuck on a wall somewhere. When 5 seconds of that situation happens, the game should say like, hey, we need to move her to the player because it's like spy mission and such. Or she's a companion, she needs to be with her host or whatever you want to call it. Energy reduction. Okay. Yeah, but I can't recommend the mods to people. Not until they fix them. Yeah, mods are just in a bad spot now. We'll see how this one goes. There it goes. Game had to decide for a second. No, I missed my jump.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Yeah, if you never played the new Warframe Hildren, she's basically like Oberon, but for shields instead of health. So if you like Oberon, you'll like Hildren because she's a similar playstyle. As you probably can tell. Let's see. Here it goes. This could be really bad for Hildren, or this could be really easy. I don't really know, so I haven't tried viral damage with Hildren, so you gotta let those people that come into sorties level up weapons. Like sorties have gotten to the point where people just don't even care. They're like, what ifs? If we fail, we fail.
Have you a tip for my how I can make the bride from Sears to Jupiter?
Dude. What do you mean by, like, is there something you having trouble with? Or you haven't fought the Spectre yet? Because I can go to the relay, if that's what you mean, and show you the Spectre fight. I don't know if you mean that the Spectre fight is giving you trouble.
Bye, boss.
Let me see. Yeah, I have to check because I don't know what you mean. Like, are you talking about the junction boss, or are you talking about the world boss?
I struggle with hair.
Yeah, you're kind of not. You're kind of not spelling the words, so the AI doesn't know what you're saying. Are you talking about the world boss or the gateway boss between the two planets?
Yes.
Yes to the gateway boss or the planet boss?
Thank you, Tenno.
Subject found. You need to bring the captain to safety.
Gateway boss.
Okay.
I can fight you. Give me a weapon.
Well, I'll check after this. Yeah, so viral is kind of bad for Hildra, but yeah, I could clean it. I cleaned it really quickly.
Mission complete. The captive has been liberated.
Yay, a sculpture. So, give me an example of some Warframe that you have. Like, do you have Oberon? Do you have Loki? Do you have Trinity? Like, what is the Warframe that you use the most on your journey through the star charts? What Warframe are you using currently?
Volt.
Okay, so you're using Volt, okay. And you said the junction between, let me look at your message. The junction between Ceres and Jupiter. So let me go to Volt. Senior Volt. So the difference between Volt and Volt Prime is more energy and more health, but not that much more. So you should have the comb, but you're not going to have a ribbon. So let me think of mods that you would have. Let me put on a basic build for you. You should have Hell's Chamber. You see. Let me see if I can find it. I put a point blank, so you should have point blank, which is damage. Let's see. I think nah, you could have access to corrupted mods, not corrupted mods, but nightmare mods. Let's see. You should have access to shotgun spaz, because on this weapon you need that. So I'll put a shell shock. You'll eventually get that. I'm putting a 90 version of the mods, which is Toxin and Cold. Let's see, what else would you have access to that I could put in there? Yeah, you'll have access to that. It's not important to the build, it's just a filler spot. Now let's see for a build on Volt. Now this is something that you can work towards. I don't expect you to have these mods, but this is a Rain shock the world mod, shock the world type of build, taking advantage of his 4. Let me go up to the big screen so you can see it. Well, that's a little bit better. You maybe will see it. Basically, the principle is to just shock everything in the room and get overshield behind it. And if the person gets close to you, you can just do that with the 1 or your X button. So let's see what we can do. You said Ceres to, let me check again. Ceres to Jupiter junction. So let's go to Ceres. And the Jupiter junction. Now you can judge based on your power strength how much you can get on how effective you can see versus what I'm doing. They sure changed the mods that you get, or rewards that you get. No, yeah, you can't do that. I forget I can do that because I'm further in the game. But you can do this. Get you some energy pizzas. And do that. So remember, I use mods on my comb that you can use to kill the thing. This is not something I had, like this isn't a ribbon or something extreme that you can't do. This was just mods that you can pick up from playing defenses on earlier planets and just building around corrosive. So yeah, you should be able to do that. So yeah, use your shield to block the damage, stun lock him, pop an energy pizza if you have to. It is just GG from there. Yeah, let me know if that helped at all, like if that was helpful a way of just thinking about that encounter, because it's all about finding new techniques to stuff that you're having trouble with. So let me go back and show you the weapon setup. Yeah. So once again, here's the weapon setup. You should have the cone, because it's a starting weapon that I've kept to this day. I didn't use anything that you couldn't get early on. So Shell Shock is a 60/60 mod that you could get. Toxic Barrage is another one that you can get later on, or if you want to go into the trade chat and like get it for 10 plat. But if you don't have that, then you can just put it on the 90 mods, which is Toxin and Charge Shell, which is even more damage. Yeah, so power strength in this case wasn't really an issue. Yeah, it helped me, or I should say it helped my shield take more damage. But like at a certain point, if you have enough power strength, that you still be able to do that too. Like if you had 100 power strength, it wouldn't be that much crazier than what I'm doing. The big thing about this build is the range to be able to hit him with your stun, so he can't hit you back. So let me see another option you have. Since you have Volt, let's see. Since you have Volt, you should have, I think, Rhino? No, I think, like, no, yeah, you should have Rhino by now. But that's kind of overkill with Rhino. So let me give you another option to try it. This might or might not work. I haven't tried this in a while, so if this doesn't work, then you know it won't work. And we're experiencing it together, so let's see. So I'm using Mag.
Yes, but not very high level.
Okay, you have Rhino, cool. Then yeah, Rhino. I'll show Rhino after this one to give you options to see, like, okay, these are different playstyles I can do this boss fight with. So Cirrus, let's see, Cirrus to Jupiter. I think this is the one you were doing. Let's see. Yeah, enhance their ability. Man, I wish I could get those mods now. So you can probably do this. Get your energy up before we're going in here. You just do that. Yeah, so Mag basically, as much as people hate Mag, she makes things really easy. So like if you're not good with aiming, you put people in the bubble and you just shoot in a general direction and your bullets are tracked to the enemy. And you don't have to even be good at aiming. You just be good at mechanics. So there's another option for people who aren't good at mechanics or good at aiming. You have a Warframe like Mag who makes your job a lot easier. Now I'll show you Rhino as the last option to answer your question. Yeah, if you have Rhino, you pretty much can make it through the star chart just with him. Once you get some mods on him, I should say. Alright, Rhino boy. The Warframe's version of a tank. So here's the build for Rhino, if you want to think towards or put your mind to building like this with what you have. The arcanes don't matter, I'm just messing with the arcanes, so you don't have to worry about those. But you want power strength so your armor can scale. So if you notice this little tooltip, you have 1,000 base armor, but with the power strength I have, you have 4,000 armor from your iron skin. So that's why you want to build around power strength. So I'll go back in there and you'll see how power strength works with Rhino. Yeah, he's a really good Warframe. Like if you're having trouble, just use Rhino. Alright. So once again, go up to the door. If you don't get glitched like I just did, or stuck, you can pop your energy right here. Pop your iron skin, got that invincibility for a couple of seconds. Oh, she slowed me down. Whatever I do, I'll just roar, just stomp because I'm Rhino, and she's dead because Rhino's really good. So hopefully in a long-winded way, that was you have some ideas of how to fight Valkyr. Valkyr is cool, but you don't want to get closer because she's a melee Warframe. So let me show you Valkyr. Since this would probably be the first time you actually seen Valkyr, you probably don't know what she does to you, so, or what she tried to do to Rhino, that case right there. Alright, so here's Valkyr. So her one is a movement ability. Which makes you just parkour around the map better. Her 2 is her debuff / speed enhancement for melee weapons. Her 3 is her stagger, which is called paralysis, which stuns people. And her 4 is her immune state, which is what you might have trouble with when she goes invulnerable. And her passive is recovery. So yeah. So this is what Valkyr does. Let me go to the simulacrum and show you what Valkyr does. If you were fighting her and you were like, I don't know why she's killing me or how she's killing me so fast. And hopefully this should answer your question after seeing what she does. So her 1 is that. It's a movement option. Nobody really uses it because you could just parkour. Her 2. Let me put on. Her 2 is her slow, what she probably hit you with, which is this. So they're all slow if they would be moving. Let me move them right quick so you can see what happens. That probably would have been a better idea to actually have them active. Balls. So her 2 is, you see their normal speed? That's her 2. This is without the 2. Now here's the 2. It's basically a slow. Her 3 is a stagger, as you can see. And you can do fair shoots with the stagger. And while your 2 is active, if you're using melee weapons, you swing faster while they're slower. Now I have invincibility on because, you know, we're in a simulacrum, but it's just to show you what her 2 does. And her 4 is her take her claws out and go to work on people thing. Because she has an exalted weapon. So you see that number next to my health bar? And you notice that she's shooting me? What that number is the damage I would take on the enemy's next bullet. So like if I get out of my 4, that damage will compound or be added up to the bullet she's shooting me with. So to avoid that, as Valkyrie, you go behind cover and go out of your 4. Yeah, she's a melee Warframe. So that's what you were facing, is a melee Warframe if you were getting close to her. And these are level 100 enemies, so let me take invincibility off to show you the strength of Valkyrie. Go behind cover because you don't want to take that damage from the 4. Yeah, Valkyrie is really cool. So if you like playing melee and you like building around melee, Valkyrie is kind of a good Warframe for you. And that's the thing about Warframe. There are a lot of Warframes, quote unquote, that are different play styles depending on how you want to play. And you can play the Warframes differently based on your play style. Like you could go into her 4, you have a build based on her 4, and health return, where you can just get your health back and just sit in your 4 all game. And I can show you some higher level tech, like, so you're in your 4 with the melee changes, so you're invincible now, but you can still shoot your weapons and go back into your invincible form. So you can even use that higher level play style with Valkyrie. Still shoot with your weapon. Oh, she's about to not get staggered. Oh, she's dead now. So it's just how you want to play the Warframe based on your play style. You can use her strictly as melee, or you can just cheese the invincibility of her 4. So hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, I just don't use Valkyrie because I'm more of a traditional, hey, I'm playing a shooter, so I'm just going to shoot stuff in type of person.
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, so I'm just I'm a user 4. Yeah. So you shouldn't just leave a comment when this video goes on video demand or live, whatever you call it. And if you have a question, I can answer in tomorrow's video if that didn't help you. Or you can send me a message on PlayStation. Robo to Crate 09, I can try to help you if you're still having trouble with that junction. Yeah, mind you, these are level 100 enemies. So like, yeah, you shouldn't have too much trouble.
I have no ps4.
Okay, well, whatever platform you're on, you can come back to the video after it's uploaded to my channel 7/9, and you can ask me a question there. If this doesn't help you, so I appreciate you too stopping by and watching the video and watching the stream. Enjoy the rest of your day.